when you push through and you do things that you never thought you'd do, it's amazing how many other doors open. So it's kind of like, you know, if you take it away from flying for a second, if you push yourself to like run marathons or something, then suddenly all you do is you just kind of, you have these kind of like preset limits that you have for yourself, but when you keep busting past those limits, you know, it becomes kind of a continuum of success and just self-confidence. Becoming a pilot has helped me to push just, you know, sometimes past, when I say limits, I just mean limits of learning and limits of, you know, where like you go, I don't know what to do, then like you have to figure out what to do.
Yep, 9767 Foxtrot at 1,000 feet headed for the south practice area.
My name's Tamara and my passion is flying. I've been a pilot for about 3 years now. I'm a private pilot, and what got me into flying? When I was 18, I had a boyfriend, and he took me flying for dinner, which was truly one of the best days of my life. I remember the earth kind of going away from me as the plane was taking off. And I was like, whoa, it was breathtaking, and I really was just so fascinated with the idea that something could just take off and take you anywhere. So I was always around planes and fascinated by them. It was kind of like a dream, like, yeah, I'll never be a pilot, and it's never going to happen. When you start flight training, there is a door, and it's a very wide door. For every, and I mean, this is very loose statistics, but I think for every like 100 people that walk in this door, at the end of the, you know, in a calendar year, for every 100 people that apply for a student pilot license, only 20 out of that 100 are going to get actual licenses issued. So like, I mean, you know, you have this kind of huge door, and then, you know, so many people start and then they don't get to the finish. And I remember saying, I'm going to be a finisher come hell or high water. And I, you know, it was really kind of difficult towards the end. I was working my butt off at work going, come on, we got to make enough money for flight, you know, because it kind of becomes this hole in the sky that like you kind of throw money at. What I'm looking here for is to see if water is in the mixture at all. Water. It's kind of like learning a new language. You know, suddenly you have all these books and you're talking about, you know, terms like weight and balance, and whether or not you were good at math in high school, you now have to get very good at it. Is, you know, I live here in the Northeast, and a lot of times, you know, you kind of like plan to go to Vermont with your friends.
67 Foxtrot, holding for runway 33 left.
Number 67 Foxtrot, force away turbulence, wind 3408, runway 32 left, clear for takeoff.
3 left, clear for takeoff, 67 Foxtrot.
Don't stop now. Reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now.
Now you can just grab a friend, jump in the plane, fly to Connecticut or Rhode Island or, you know, a nearby airport for lunch, and then come back the same day, happy, healthy, and fulfilled.
On course to South Park, sir.
Left on course to practice area, 67 Foxtrot.
One of the nicest things I enjoy about flying, more than anything else, is the community of fellow pilots. I remember going on a trip to Puerto Rico, and I was standing outside. Some American Airlines pilots had just come out from their flight. They were actually the pilots that flew us down to Puerto Rico. And, here they are in their big stripes and coming all out. I said, I'm a student pilot. And they said, really? And I said, yeah. And I said, they're like, so, how is it? And I said, actually, I'm really struggling with stalls. It's terrifying. I know I have to do them in order to get my license, but I'm kind of like terrified of it. And, I got to tell you something. Those guys stood there and just talked to me and told me that, it was going to be fine, that I had to, they poured into me. So it showed me that, even like your big pilot from American Airlines with the fancy, they care about the little pilot that's struggling with stalls. Biggest thing I would have, and even after you become a pilot, is to stay curious, to stay educated. And, one of the things that probably really affects me now as a pilot is hanging around people that take safety seriously. That was so ingrained in me, taking safety so seriously that by the time I went on to training and they're going safety first, I was already, yes. I'd say just kind of like full immersion in any way possible, and start with what you have. Anything, just whatever you have access to, books, internet, local flying clubs, organizations and associations. After that, it will just all come together in the way it will. I'm Tamara, and my passion is flying.
That's funny.